105.9 Academy FM.
The sound of Folkestone.
Special guest on the line then. We've kept it a bit of a secret, but we're joined by Kitty Brucknell. You all right, Kitty?
Hey, I'm good.
Brilliant. Now, of course, you were in the Xfactor last year, and of course, you come from the Xfactor through to now. So, really, the question's going to be quite short, quite blunt, but in how many words? Obviously, you could probably go on forever answering this question, but what have you been up to since the Xfactor?
I've been really writing and recording because one thing that I didn't want to do is release the music, straight off the show.
Yeah.
And kind of disappear into obscurity. It's not really my style. I wanted to get things right. I wanted to really develop myself as an artist. So I've been writing a lot of songs and recording a lot, and I think I've really found my sound, and I'm so excited to share my music with everyone. I really, really am.
Brilliant. And of course, you said that you didn't want to release music straight off the back of X Factor. It seems like there is usually quite a long time since, it's quite a long time from after the X Factor to when artists do actually release their material finally. How's it all going? Is it good getting into the studio?
Oh, it's so good. I mean, that's the one thing that I love doing is I love music, and I'm so into music, but it's really important to get it right. And I think, I've waited longer than most. I think some people, they had deals. They had deals straight off the back of the show, and then they went straight into the studio. And, that's all good and well. But I think, I am a little bit more alternative, so it was a little bit more difficult for me. But I think that's good because at the end of the day, I want to find, a team that believes in me rather than me on the X Factor. So I think there's a difference.
Yeah, and do you feel much pressure? Because obviously you've come off the back of this big show, or are you quite comfortable getting yourself in the studio?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've recorded, I recorded before, and, I did a lot of stuff, but never on this level. And it's just an incredible feeling. I would have never believed, a year ago, that I'd have, huge artists, come and watch me perform. I mean, it's just so insane.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing feeling. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. I'm like, oh my God, am I really really happy?
Yeah, of course. You were saying about big artists coming and watching you. I mean, going into the X Factor, we all knew you as a massive Lady Gaga fan, and then when you was on the X Factor, you met her, and the rumour is, or the thing is that you spent half an hour in her dressing room. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's true.
That must have been amazing, of course, meeting your idol and sitting down having a chat with her.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, did she give you any tips?
Yeah, she was just really helpful, and I think everyone that's really helped me along the way. It's not just Lady Gaga. Everyone wants to talk about Lady Gaga, but there's other people too that are behind the scenes that have really sort of been my unofficial mentors, and it's really amazing to think that these people believe in me that much to take the time to write to me, and I'm just really grateful, and I can't wait. And the most amazing thing is just my amazing fan base. They write to me, and I'm really active on Twitter, and I talk to them on Twitter, and they come to my gigs and everything. It's just so exciting.
It's amazing.
It's
amazing how you do attract such an audience from this show. I mean, and they're really loyal as well. Straight away, they're really loyal to their fans, aren't they?
I think so. I mean, I definitely think there's a difference sometimes. There's a lot of singers on the show who I'd call kind of the ballad people.
Yeah.
They sing a lot of ballads, and the mums get behind them and they think, oh, he's such a nice lad, and he's so nice. And I think the people that vote based on personality, I think the people that get through each week based on their personality, sometimes they're the people that disappear into obscurity, because at the end of the day, it is about music. And I was always really upfront about it. I said, it's okay if you don't like me. I'm fine with that, but I am an artist. This is what I want to do. So if you want to get behind me because of my music, not because who I am as a person. I think that's kind of defeats the object of being a musician and an artist.
Yeah, it is all, of course. I mean, there was times this year. I mean, we'll come on and talk about the X Factor in a minute, actually, because that's quite interesting. But first of all, you were saying about getting into the studio. So have you got singles ready? You looking to release an album at some point next year?
Yeah, I am. I want to get it right. And we're in talks right now with a few companies, but it's really important to me to, have belief behind it. I don't want to just release something that they think will just make them a quick buck and then they can drop me after the one single. That's just not how I roll. So I've been very, very picky, and I had quite a few offers, but I said no to quite a lot of people.
Yeah. You want to do what you want to do.
Because it was really important to me. I was like, no, I've got to get it right. I've got to get it right. And you just, you just get a gut feeling. You just get a gut feeling about something, and then that gut feeling is where it leads from. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's just about chance meetings and chance somebody hears you at a gig, and it's just so exciting. Something clicks, and then it rolls on from there. So it's great.
We'll hear more from Kitty after Flow Rider. Let's go back then, shall we, and hear from Kitty Brucknell and what she makes of this year's competition. Who does she think's going to win? And what's her opinions on Christopher Maloney? Listen to this. Now, of course, she was part of the Xfactor, so it's all led on from the Xfactor. And, of course, she was in the over 25. She was mentored by Mr. Louis Walsh himself. And, by the way, may I just say, without Louis, I don't think the Xfactor would be the Xfactor. Louis is just brilliant to watch. I mean, what is he like as a mentor?
Oh, Louis is amazing. I don't think people give him enough credit because...
No, I agree.
He comes across on the show as a joker.
Yeah.
But he's really, really not. And behind the scenes, he's really, he's very hard. He was very hard on me.
Yeah.
And he would, he would belittle me a little bit and he'd be just like, oh, Kitty, you've got to stop doing that. Got to stop doing that. He'd write me emails saying, you've got to wear trousers next week because you're not getting any votes by wearing hot pants. And, he's a really cool person and we've stayed in touch and I went to see him the other week and he's like, my God, you're so skinny.
So you are still in touch with Louis then?
Yeah, of course I am.
Oh, brilliant. And of course, Louis being your mentor, amazing. But what about the whole experience for you last year? Was it as incredible as it was watching it?
Oh my goodness, it's very stressful, and I think I miss the show, but I don't miss the stress.
Yeah.
I wish it's strange, but I wish I'd developed myself more as an artist before I went on the show, because I feel like now I could slay that show, but I feel like I could. But when I was on the show, a lot of people say, oh, but you weren't nervous, and and I really was, and it took a lot for me to get on the stage every week and think about it, and I put so much into my performances and I put so much into not just the singing but the staging and everything, and I think I was kind of the first person to really take charge on that side of things. I really took charge of my performances and I said, no, this is what I want to do, and I got really involved in everything behind the scenes, and a lot of the time that took people aback by a bit of a surprise, I think. I don't think people really realised that I wanted to be so involved in it.
It's important to put on the show as well, isn't it? As well as showcasing your voice, but to also entertain on top of that.
I think that's really important, to be consistent, to be entertaining, but at the same time, you have to delight the demographic.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I kind of realised, and Louis told me this, but I was like, no, that's impossible. It's impossible. But the demographic, about 60 or 70% of the people that vote and that watch the show are between the ages of about 30 and 60.
Yeah.
And that's why you get people like Christopher Maloney winning the vote each week, because at the end of the day, he is playing to the demographic, and those are the people that are voting. It's really interesting.
I've got to say, Christopher Maloney, I can kind of relate. This is going to sound really weird and it's going to sound strange as I say it, but I'm going to explain myself. I can kind of relate you to where you're both kind of being given a few cheesy tracks and you go into it, you get given cheesy tracks, but you both have incredible voices. But then at the end of the day, you're getting the votes, you're going through, and then there's a lot of negativity built up about you. And
I think it's interesting because when I started out the show, I think I was painted at a certain point. I remember my first audition, they sort of painted me as a certain kind of character. And I was like, actually, no, I'm not like that. And I worked on it and I said to people, you get to know me, I'm not like that at all. So by the time I left the show, I think a lot of people wanted me to stay. Whereas I think someone like Christopher Maloney, it just, even saying the word just freaks me out. It really irritates the hell out of me. Not because he's getting through each week. I actually feel a bit sorry for him in that respect. Yeah. But
I've got to say,
the fact is, he is not credible. He is a cruise ship singer. And at the end of the day, what is he doing on that show? He's fake. I actually went backstage. I went down there last Sunday and I spoke to people about him and they all said the same thing. They all said he's an absolute idiot. A lot of people really don't like him. Nobody likes him. In fact, everyone I speak to is saying, how are we going to get him off the show?
I do. It's that thing where I do feel sorry for singers like him who go on this show and they do have quite good voices, but then again, they're not built up in the same way. And as you're watching on TV, you can't tell if someone is really that passionate and that nervous about something, or if they are just trying to win the vote.
He's been faking it from the beginning. I spoke to people, and the thing is, what's really interesting is that him and Jarmeen are quite similar in terms of what's showing their nerves. But Jarmeen, you can tell it's genuine because he's trying to hide it. Whereas someone like Christopher, he's just being all really open about it. He's like, oh, I'm shaking. Oh, I love me nan. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And honest to God, something like that it's hugely irritating, but it's really funny because at the end of the day, if he wins the show, he's going to get dropped anyway. So what he's got himself to blame. So you're not a Christopher Maloney fan then? God, no. I don't even like the villains. Like when people say, "Oh, I like the villains on X Factor," I say, no. I'm usually the one setting up hate pages on Facebook for them. I get really involved in the show and get really obsessed, and I start setting up like vote pages and stuff. But so I was really determined not to let that happen to me because I knew that I would get criticism for being the artist that I am. Yeah. I was really prepared for that. I mean, I was going to say, you say you get involved in it. I mean, what have you made of this year's competition so far then? Have you managed to catch it? Yeah, no, I was watching it every week. I tweet about it every single week. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, I'm tweeting about it. I think, I don't know. I love Jameen. I think he's a future superstar. Yeah, he's incredible. And the only worry, I don't really know this market, so I can't really comment, but I'm not sure whether the UK would embrace him as much as, say, the American market. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. And I think if he released like a Christian gospel album and released it in America, I think he'd sell more records in One Direction. Yeah. And he'd be touring stadiums because the Christian market in America is just huge, and I can just see it. He's just perfect for it, and I know that's pretty much what he wants to do. I think I've seen interviews when he said, "I really want to do gospel music," and I actually think, I think this Saturday. He's going to be surprising a lot of people, so I can't wait to see what he does. I just can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be good. What about James Arthur then? What do you make of James Arthur? Because there's this whole, personally with me, with James Arthur, I think he's so talented where he can do so many genres, but I honestly think his strong point is where we can go from these incredible vocals to going kind of like in that Plan B way where we can get that urban edge, because it's unique, it's something different. What do you make of James Arthur? Yeah, he really reminds me of Plan B. Yeah. And I think that's really, really credible, but I'm not sure. I just hope that they don't turn him into another, like, I don't know, Matt Cardle, because I love Matt Cardle. Yeah. I think Matt Cardle's amazing. Yeah. And I saw him in concert and I thought, my God, he's absolutely genius, but whether he'll get the right promotion, I don't know. I think he may be a little bit too credible for what the X Factor, like for the demographic that watches the show. Yeah. But I didn't get him at first. I just thought it was a bit too emo for me, but I actually really like him now. I think he's got something really unique. He's really good, and of course we've just spoken about Christopher Maloney. So saying one name, who do you think will win? I hate the fact that I'm going to say this, but it's going to be Christopher. You think Christopher's going to take it? Especially if he sings "You Will Never Walk Alone" in the final. Oh, there is a big Liverpool fan base, isn't there? If he sings that song, he will win by a landslide. And I think he knows that. Thank you, Kitty, for joining us on the show, and it's been great to hear from you as well. And hopefully, as soon as you get your single out there, hopefully we'll get you back on and have a chat about it then as well. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait for you to hear it. It's very, very awesome. I can't wait. Thank you very much, Kitty. Thank you so much. Bye.
105.9 Academy FM.